So we did what I thought we should have done, and what heading into the draft, my preview, I said if we select any one of those three wide receivers, top three wide receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Nabers, or Roma Dunze, I'm happy. That's an A from me, dog. And we ended up going with Malik Nabers. Won't you be my neighbors? 6th pick overall. We didn't have to trade up or down to get him. And some are saying, many are saying, that he could be better than Marvin Harrison Jr., who is widely regarded, throughout most of the college football season as the best wide receiver in the class. This was a deep wide receiver class. So this gets an A grade across the board from most everyone. He personally had a 6.86 grade. So if you're wondering, like, okay, what is this shit? What does that grade mean? I don't know what that means, Neal. So they have these grades on the NFL draft tracker. 8 is the perfect prospect. I don't think I've ever seen that outside of the Jadeveon Clowney. I think it was like some like defensive lineman, defensive edge. 7.3 to 7.5 is a perennial all-pro. Saquon Barkley was a 7.45, I think, or something like that. So never got to all-pro. Injuries and a shitty offensive line will do that to you. 7.0 to 7.1 is Pro Bowl talent. Fun fact, Sam Darnold was like a 7. He hasn't made the Pro Bowl yet. Still pulling for him, though. Hopefully he can get rid of all those ghosts he's seeing. 6.7 to 6.9 is a year one starter. 6.5 to 6.6 is boom or bust potential, which is just I still to this day will never understand that definition. 6.4 to 6.49 is will become good starter within 2 years. 6.3 to 6.39 will eventually be a plus starter. 6.2 to 6.29 will eventually be an average starter. 6.1 to 6.19, good backup with the potential to develop into a starter. 6 to 6.09, traits or talent to be above average backup. 5.8 to 5.99, average backup or special teamer. 5.6 to 5.69, candidate for bottom of roster or practice squad. 5.5 to 5.59, priority undrafted free agent. So, when we're looking at these picks, we're going to be looking at that grade, but also looking at the next gen stats draft model, which ranks players in, I guess it's like production score, athleticism score, and then total score, where the prospects rank amongst their position and the numbers. So this is how they're defining it. This analyzes the historical NFL Combine, Pro Day, and college production data to predict a prospect's chances of success in the NFL. The results of the model are transformed into composite scores ranging from 50 to 99, which represent the athleticism, college performance, and overall profile of an NFL prospect. So 50 to 60 is below average, 60 to 70 is average, 70 to 90 is good. Weird that they wouldn't do 70 to 80 good, 80 to 90 great. And then 90 to 100 is quote unquote elite. So I believe, funny enough, the last elite player that we drafted was Kevin Neal. Not Kevin Neal. Oh, Evan Neal. That's the last elite player we drafted. Before that was Saquon. And I want to say that before that was Odell. I don't think that's right, though. Let me see here. Odell Beckham Jr. Nope, 6.4. Will become a good starter within 2 years. So, and he got his, his next gen stats was 87, which is good. And I would beg to say that he was pretty much elite when he was healthy. So, I mean, there are a bunch of guys that I've come across, prospects that went undrafted that have high grades. But then if you look at their next gen stats, it's like a different story. So it's kind of like taking it all in and saying, okay, which one do we value the most? Is it next gen stats, which I would lean more towards next gen stats than I would this grade. But I'm going to take both into consideration here just for shits and gigs. So he got Malik Nabers, 6.86 grade. the highest grade of all the wide receivers in 2024, higher than Marvin Harrison Jr. His next gen stats total score is 92, which is elite, and that puts him top of the heap. He's the number one ranked receiver, college prospect, above Marvin Harrison Jr. His production score was a 96, which was first, and then his athleticism score was an estimated 85, and that's because I guess he didn't do a lot of shit at the combine or participate in the combine, but that puts him like ninth amongst all wide receivers. But I have a feeling if he actually participated and did all his work, that I think he probably is going to come out of the 90s there. I don't even know how they estimate that. I'm sure there's some kind of algorithm, some formula. Prospects who do not perform drills at the combine or pro day are given an estimated athleticism score based on their size and projected 40 times. So, 85 seems a little low, if I'm being honest. His strengths: has a grab and go acceleration to catch it short and take it long. Hell yeah. Catches off frame balls with strong sudden hands. That is just straight erotic. Premium leaper with contortionist's talent for in-air adjustments on jump balls. Frames up defender to finish contested catches underneath. Good hand fighting and post-up talent to win positioning battles against big corner. Fuck yeah. Which is interesting considering his weaknesses, which we'll get to. Changes speeds inside the route to tilt defenders off the break point. You tilted, son. Glides and burns past defenders deep or pushes them into retreat for easy stop routes, which I freaking love. And there's a comp later on in our analysis of Malik Nabers that you might scoff at. You might roll your eyes. You might say, Neal, get the F out of my house. Get out of my brain. What are you talking about? But I can see it based on that strength alone. The fact that he can blow past you, and if you know that he can blow past you, you are then going to retreat, and then that just frees you up for an easy curl, 15-yard curl or what have you, and then you can make some moves and get some big chunk plays. So, oh, baby. Very happy. I mean, in my preview, I said that Marvin Harrison Jr. is like, if he's there, no brainer. That's the conservative pick, the right pick. He's not overly sexy, but he'll put up consistently good numbers. Rome Odunze was a case of like, well, he's proven himself. He's like, and then Malik Nabers was this sexy, dangerous pick. and we picked him, and I got a fear boner because it was just like, this could go really south really hard, or it's going to be like, this guy is going to be in the Ring of Honor. He's going to put on a gold jacket. Like, I have only good things about him. I mean, you can't help, because he is LSU and OBJ was LSU. We got a lot of like OBJ 2.0 or OB3 comments from a lot of people, but it's not the same. And watching it, I didn't get to watch a lot of LSU football or him in college football, but like I watch him play, and they don't look like the same guy. I'm just really impressed. I mean, and everyone said this, his ability to stop and start is just, I don't understand how the human body can do that shit. Because I can't even stand up quickly. So it is unfathomable, his ability to change direction and speeds that much. I mean, like the highlights that I was seeing, like there was 5-10 yards of separation, and even like they said, on contested catches, like his ability to fight off the defender and make that tough catch when he is covered and doesn't have separation. So his weaknesses, let's get into that. He runs free into big spaces, but needs additional route schooling. So apparently his route running, unlike Marvin Harrison Jr., is not tip-top, not ship shape. He's inconsistent hip sync to snap routes off at crisp angles. Okay. Would benefit from eliminating wasted motion in early phases of the route. Okay. Lackadaisical to capture positioning and stack coverage behind him. Overall, though, Feels like we have the right coaching staff, I guess, in place to kind of work through that, right? I don't think this is a Kadarius Toney situation. Um, and I think we're going to see numbers similar to OBJ. But do I see the same kinds of plays? I think I don't know. He doesn't remind me of OBJ. A little bit. Yeah, I guess he does. All right, maybe he does remind me a little bit of OBJ. I'm just watching the highlights now and I'm just like, yeah, those are all actually that does look a lot like OBJ. Yeah. I'm just I'm pumped. I'm excited. It's kind of crazy going back and watching like the interview that he had pre-draft where it was like, yeah, I talked to the Giants, their goal, and it's like I wonder if Giants brass went to him and said, hey, can you like not act too excited about us picking you, possibly picking you? I guess it's just nonstop smoke screens. It must be like what it must have been like to be a spy during the Cold War. It's just like nonstop fucking smoke screens and like distractions and red herrings and just like, there was so much crazy shit coming out of this draft. Like, oh, we tried to move up to 3 with the Patriots, but no dice. And then was it Schefter saying, if the Chargers passed on Joe Alt, we would have taken Joe Alt, which I don't know how that would have gone with a lot of Giants fans. I would not have been too bummed about it because I'm like, fuck yeah, now we have serious competition at the tackle position, the right tackle position. If Andrew Thomas goes down with another injury or Evan Neal goes down with an injury, we have, it just seems like I would not have been like that angry about it. But that being said, if we did pass on it like a Neighbors, that's where it's like it gets tricky because it's like it would have had to be like there's no way we would not have gotten a wide receiver. There's no world. Unless it's like, you have Williams to the Bears, you have Daniels to the Commanders, and you have, I guess Pats were pretty dead set, sitting dead red on Drake May. And then if you go, is it Marvin Harrison, Malik Nabers, and then you have either Roma Dunze or Joe Alt. Do you go Alt over Dunze? I think I would have probably gone to Dunze. It's tempting though. So the weaknesses feel like they're not huge weaknesses. I just like how explosive he is. So there's a lack of polish and precision, but I think that can be cleaned up, right? Like he displays toughness, and he has strength to fight for tight window victories with the middle. That's cool to hear. Can play all 3 receiver spots and has the profile to become a productive high volume target over all 3 levels as a potential wide receiver 1. Yeah. He's wide receiver 1 right off the bat. I know the coaches are not allowed to say that, but he is. And every single Giants fan knows that. So I'm pretty excited about that pick. Kind of hoping it doesn't go down the same way OBJ went down, where it's just like it became a bit much. That friggin' Carolina game with Josh Norman, Jesus Christ. So hopefully it doesn't go down that road, that route. No boat trips or anything of that nature.